friends, my name is Jana Eubank and I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Now, we have received recently a huge snowstorm here in Utah, which is pretty typical of our spring. We usually have sunny days with the birds chirping, and then the very next day we'll get like 4 inches of snow, and that's what happened this week. So it has put me in the mood to scrapbook some winter photos, especially before the season completely changes over. Now, earlier this season, I purchased the collection by Simple Stories called the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow Collection, and it is beautiful, yet I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. So I thought I would, pull out some fun, cozy photos and put this collection to work. So I flipped through the products that I have picked up at the beginning of this video just to give you an idea of what I will be working with. Now, this is quite a popular collection. In fact, it's sold out in many places, and I wasn't able to get everything in the collection. In fact, I probably will, look around some more and see if I can collect more pieces to it, but it is gorgeous. I just love it. I love the snowy feel of it. I love the plaids. I love the color scheme, and I thought it would be perfect for these photos that I'm going to be working with today. Now, every fall, my family has a tradition of going up to my husband's family cabin and watching a conference over the weekend. We spend the weekend just getting cozy in the cabin, where we ride four-wheelers, we play games, we do puzzles, we watch lots of videos, and eat lots of yummy food, of course. Now, this weekend takes place in early October, and even though it's fall time, because the cabin is in the high mountains, it often, some years gives us a good snowstorm. So that happened this particular year, which was the first year we went up, and we don't mind. We just, stoke the fireplace and pull out the hot cocoa and enjoy our time together. So it's one of our favorite family weekends, and I was really excited to scrapbook these photos today. Now, we are just hanging out as a family, watching TV. My kids are playing a game, and these papers go perfectly with it. I'm starting off this layout by using the navy plaid paper as the base behind my photos, and then I'm going to stack up behind it this layer of ticket paper. I love this ephemera paper. It's so pretty. Next, I'm going to be using the Simple Vintage Solids as my base. I'm also going to be using one to mat my main photo just to set it off a little bit more. My husband is wearing a green t-shirt on the right side of the layout, and so I thought to balance the colors, I would mat this larger photo with the darker green color just to carry that color across to the other side of the page, which I think works out well. I'm also going to be using one of the solids for the background of this layout, and I'm using the tan color. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but it is this light tan color. I love picking up the coordinating solids to any collection. Even though I own a lot of cardstock, I love the solids because, especially in the Simple Vintage lines, because they have this printed distress detail on it that just makes it so beautiful. In fact, you can see in the corners there that you've got some of that white splatter paint look, which goes perfectly with this snowy collection. So I'm going to be using that as my background. Now, I do ink up all of my layers with a light gray ink. I like to do this because I feel like it defines the edges of my papers and my photos without being too heavy-handed. So this is just a habit I picked up during the days of distressing, when everybody used distressing a lot. But now I've just switched over to a light gray ink, and to me it just adds sort of a shadow effect to all of my pieces, and I really like doing that. Now, next, I've pulled out the ephemera bits for this collection, and I love these. They're huge. They are these pre-made layered pieces that you can use to add really easy layers to your project. So I've pulled out a few of them here. I have one with the pine cone that has some stacked letters and some, pine branches tucked in there. And then I've pulled out this other one that I've cut in half that I was thinking I would use as an additional layer tucked above and below the photo. But as I played with it, I just wasn't liking that lighter green, or I don't know. I don't know if I just didn't like the square feeling or what, but I just decided to stick with the letter one. Now, I cut that one in half, but I'll just set those aside, and I will definitely put those to use at another time. Now, on the bottom of that navy plaid paper, I did go ahead and tear it. I did that earlier in the process. And if you noticed, I did kind of lightly bounce my paper in 2 different directions. And for me, that is where I am trying to figure out the grain of the paper. So if you didn't know, just like planks of wood, pieces of paper have a grain to them. And if you know when you cut a piece of wood, you will get a straighter cut if you cut with the grain. The same goes for if you're tearing paper. And so if you are really frustrated when you tear paper because it always goes at a slant, most likely you are tearing against the grain. So because this pattern paper, that navy plaid, had the pattern, is equal or the same in either direction, I went ahead and bounced that paper to see which direction the grain was in so I could get a straighter tear there. So give that a try. All right, next I am working with a lot of the floral bits of this collection, and they are beautiful. There's lots of pine branches, twigs, pine cones, there's flowers in there, eucalyptus branches, so many beautiful wintertime sprigs, and I'm going to use those a lot on this page. I love using florals on a page. Oftentimes our layers are lots of straight edges, right? And so I always pick up the coordinating pack of floral bits or branches that go with the collection because they have an organic shape to them, and it's a great way to break up the straight edges of your photos or of your layers. So I am going to create 3 clusters with these floral branches, one, creating a visual triangle around my photos. Of course, I put the large one off to the right corner by that letter piece. I'm going to do another one across the bottom, and I'm going to anchor that Let's Get Cozy chipboard piece with that. That will move down there. And then I will also create one in the top left corner, and that's where my title is eventually going to go. Now, earlier this year, I was cleaning through my drawers, just kind of taking stock of my inventory and seeing what I had, if there was anything I wanted to get rid of. I have the worst time purging my supplies. I am very sentimental about them. I love collecting supplies. I just love everything about the scrapbooking hobby. And so I have quite a few, and it's very rare that I get rid of anything. But one thing I noticed while I was going through my supplies is my big stash of letter stickers. I love them. I collect them as often as I can, and I have quite a bit of them. And so my goal this year is to use them more often. A lot of times I find myself, gravitating towards pre-made titles from chipboard sheets or this foam stickers, but I do love my alphabet stickers. And so my goal is to do more pages this year where I'm mixing in those pre-made words or pre-made titles along with my letter stickers. So I'm pulling in a few sets here from my brown collection. I have a woodsy chipboard letter set that's spelling out the word cabin. That's from American Crafts. And then these smaller letters here are an old set by Mind's Eye, and these look so pretty. Now, I really do like how I've created this mixed title here. I love mixing smaller letters with larger letters, and I love longer titles. I think they're so fun. So I'm definitely going to be doing more this year. However, this one, as I was doing it, I just didn't like the shape of it. It felt, I don't know, too triangular or too small, or I don't know. It just wasn't sitting right with me, even though I liked how it looked. So today, I'm going to play with a lot of my letter stickers. You're going to see me pull out a lot of sets and try on different ones here to see which ones I like the best. So, yeah, that's where I spend most of my time on this page, is just playing with all of these letter stickers from my stash. I tried out that green chipboard set. I believe that was a set I got in the dollar section of Target one year. I'm playing with this foam green set. I thought I might try some green colors because of my husband's green t-shirt. This one's by American Crafts. I don't really like how that looks. So I'm going to pull in these brown letter stickers. These, I believe I bought at the dollar store maybe 10 years ago. They're really pretty. They're this brown foil color. And I really like these. I almost stick with these for sure. So I, spend more time on that. But as I tried to place more of the branches around this title, it just wasn't working. So I will eventually change those as well. So if you've ever wanted to see a layout with like 40 different alphabet choices, that's what you're getting today. I'm going to just play with these letters. So even though I really like these brown foil letters, what I'm starting to figure out as I try to fill in the florals is that I need my title to stretch further across that page and fill in more space. And so I even though I really like how this looks, I can't quite get the florals to look how I want them to kind of transition down. And so I decided to pull off these foil letters, and I decided to change my title completely and make it longer so that it stretches across the page even more. And so that's what I'm going to do. And this will be my final little choice of alphabet stickers, where I stretch the title further across the page. And so my title is quite long. It will say Conference at the Cozy Cabin. And I will settle on some wood grain letters by October afternoon, and I will complete that across the top. So that will work a lot better, and I'm happy with that, and that's where I will finish off the page. Now, those alphabet stickers that I have, both the chipboard ones and the October afternoon ones that I'm going to be adding here in just a second, are starting to lose the stick to them. I've pulled them off and on the page so many times throughout different projects that I'm a little bit nervous about how they're going to look or how they're going to stay long term. And so most of the time, even with newer alphabet stickers, I will always reinforce them with some liquid glue. But today I thought I would do another technique, and that is I'm going to stitch through the letters with my sewing machine. So I will do that at the very end, and you will see that in the closing shots. Now, even though this memory takes place in October, like I mentioned, we got a snowstorm while we were at the cabin, and so I did sprinkle in several of the snowflake pieces from the die cuts throughout the page. I will finish off those snowflakes with some blue gems, some light blue gems in the center of each of those, just to add a little bit of sparkle. I think every page with snow should have a little bit of sparkle, and so that will finish that off. I'll add them to the centers of the snowflakes, but I'll also sprinkle them around the snowflakes as well. I will take this over to my computer and add some journaling above and below that smaller photo, and that will complete this page. Again, this is the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Fresh Snow Collection. It's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I can't wait to play with it some more. I hope you were able to pick up this collection. Here's a look at that stitching across the letters. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I always love when you stop by. We'll see you again soon.